If Jesus was here right now, would you let him in?
Of course I would.
Why?
As long as he went through the proper,
As long as he came here legally. As long as Jesus Christ came to this country legally.
Is law and order really important to you?
Absolutely, especially when we live in not some great areas over in St. Louis and they need to be cleaned up. So
it's important to obey the laws?
Absolutely.
And the shirt says, "I'm voting felon."
2024.
And what does that mean?
Well, he was convicted, but not that I believe it.
I am out here to support our president, Donald J. Trump.
Sure. And why is that?
Well, he's given us 5 million plus jobs since he's taken office, lowest unemployment for Blacks, Latinos, and Asians. And he's also just given a nice shout out to the gay community for Gay Pride Month, saying he supports us 100% and he wants to decriminalize homosexuality around the globe. How could you not get behind that?
I love everything about Donald Trump. I feel he can be trusted and feel comfortable, and it's peace of mind.
What makes Donald Trump so special?
Oh my goodness, his honesty, his bravery.
Donald Trump, you think is a very honest guy?
Oh, he's horrifically, wonderfully honest.
Horrifically honest.
Yeah, and wonderfully honest.
Here's the problem. People keep voting for policies that hurt them, then act shocked when they actually get hurt. Pennsylvania's delivering a masterclass in this right now. Voter fraud? Found it, but not where they said it'd be. Healthcare cuts? Passing. For the very people who cheered them on. Kids losing school lunch, veterans losing benefits, farmers losing everything. And through it all, the same excuse. We didn't think it'd affect us. It's like watching someone set their own house on fire, then blame the fire department for not saving it. So today, we're walking through the wreckage. Welcome back to Mind Mirror. Let's get into it.
So it happened. Trump's big beautiful bill passed the House and the Senate and is going to be signed into law. And unfortunately, it's going to be responsible for one of the most legendary arcs of cruelty and suffering in our lifetime. Pennsylvania will not remain unscathed from this. Let's see what we stand to lose here. In Pennsylvania's 11th Congressional District, where I live, Representative Lloyd Smucker and Senator Dave McCormick emphatically voted to kick thousands of Pennsylvanians off of Medicaid and SNAP. This means that children in school who get access to free lunch will be thrown off of that program. This means that veterans and disabled citizens will get kicked off of their health plan.
Wait, hold on. They voted for representatives who kicked veterans off health care. The same people who post "I stand for the flag" every 4th of July? You can't wrap yourself in patriotism on social media and then strip benefits from the people who actually served. That's not supporting the troops. That's theater. And the kids losing free lunch? They didn't vote for this. They're just collateral damage. Here's what people need to understand. When you vote for fiscal responsibility, you're voting to cut something. And it's never going to be tax breaks for billionaires. It's always going to be lunch for a 6-year-old. So if you're wondering why people are angry, this is why. Because consequences are real, and they're landing on people who can't afford them.
Republican State Representative Brett Miller hasn't said anything about this bill, but it does closely align with how he's voted in the past. In 2019, he voted to dismantle the General Assistance Program, which provided 68,000 Pennsylvania individuals and families with cash and medical assistance. We will have better options in 2026. Let's choose them.
Final takeaway is Donald Trump does not want to be there. Donald Trump does not want to be president of the United States. Donald Trump loves to rally. He loves to be around his cult members. He loves to yell into the microphone nonsense that nobody can really understand. But when it comes to time to roll up your sleeves and actually get to work and read your morning briefings, your intel reports, to work with both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans, to pass legislation, to speak with world leaders, to negotiate on behalf of the United States, to lead our country during times of crisis, to set an example, he does not want any part of it. He's running because he understands that the alternative is prison for him because of the crimes that he committed against our country. And so you have a very clear distinction between both candidates. You have Kamala Harris, who is prepared, experienced, intelligent in the prime working years of her life, and she is taking this role extremely seriously. She will roll up her sleeves. She will work long hours. She will work every day, and she will work for us. And she knows how to work with both sides of the aisle. She knows how to pass legislation. She knows how to get shit done. And then you have Donald Trump, who literally cannot work with anyone who disagrees with him, even on minor details. And that's why during his first term, he got literally nothing done except tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. And that's only because he had a Republican House and a Republican Senate.
4 years, full control of Congress for 2 of them. And what got done? Tax cuts for the wealthy. That's it. No infrastructure, no healthcare plan, just tax cuts. And people are still acting like, this time it'll be different. It's like dating someone who cheated on you 3 times and believing them when they say they've changed. The problem? Some people don't know how to govern. They just know how to campaign. Firing everyone who disagrees with you isn't leadership, it's a tantrum. Meanwhile, there are politicians who actually pass legislation, who know how to negotiate, who understand compromise. But that's not as exciting as a Twitter fight, so...
He is incapable.
Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, just tore Donald Trump a new one in a long statement ahead of Donald Trump's PR visit to the swing state of Pennsylvania. Let's pull it up and give it a read. Quote, "This weekend, Donald Trump is coming to our Commonwealth to continue pushing his extreme agenda to control women's bodies and take away Pennsylvanians' freedoms. From overturning Roe v. Wade and unleashing extreme abortion bans all across the country to trying to overturn the last election and destroy our democracy to promising to kick 1.2 million Pennsylvanians off of their health care. Donald Trump's record and agenda are too dangerous and extreme for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvanians want a president who will fight for us and protect our freedom, not the chaos and extremism Donald Trump wants to bring to our communities. President Biden has had Pennsylvania's back, and we will work once again to reject Trump's extremism, defend real freedom, and send President Joe Biden back to the White House this November." Yeah! What a perfect thing for Pennsylvanians to read before Donald Trump arrives in their state. He's a con artist, he's a scammer, he hates democracy, he accused Pennsylvania of stealing the election, which they didn't, and now he's coming back to the state with his tail between his legs, begging for their votes. Don't fall for it, guys. It's a scam, just like everything else he does.
Pennsylvania should be furious. Their election was called stolen. Lawyers tried to overturn their votes. Their entire state got insulted, and now the same people are back asking for support like nothing happened? That's not politics. That's audacity. And Shapiro's statement nails it. Promising to kick 1.2 million Pennsylvanians off healthcare isn't policy. It's cruelty. This is the pattern, though. Burn bridges, insult people, lose, then come crawling back with empty promises. It's your ex showing up with gas station flowers after they keyed your car. Pennsylvania voters remember. And if they don't, well, fool me once.
Numbers with you coming out of Pennsylvania that's going to knock your socks off today. You ready? Number one, in a poll by the Daily Mail, this is a United Kingdom organization. They're in the UK. They have a presence here. They cover politics. You can find it. Go to dailymail.com. They've got Trump and Harris tied at Pennsylvania at 47 apiece. Okay, not bad. I got them up by 3. So does Rasmussen Reports. That's where I think this race is right now, 3-4, Trump ahead of Pennsylvania. But look at some of the numbers that came out of this thing, which I'm still digesting, which are barn burners. I don't know why that every media company in the world is now covering this, because it's all fake news. That's why you tuned me in. Number one, in this poll in Pennsylvania, I just want you to grasp this. Trump is getting 33% of the black vote. 33, that is 1 out of every 3 black voters in Pennsylvania, according to the Daily Mail, is voting for President Trump. This is heads are going to blow off.
33% of black voters? From one poll, the Daily Mail, that's an outlier. Most credible polls show around 10 to 15% nationally. Still higher than before, sure. But 33%? That's statistically improbable. So why push this number? Simple. Narrative. See? They're leaving the Democrats. Repeat it enough, and it feels true even when it's not. Look, there are black conservative voters. That's real. But 1/3? Acting like that's accurate isn't analysis. It's wishful thinking wrapped in bad math. Polling matters. Sample size matters. Methodology matters. Cherry-picking one poll that says what you want doesn't make it true. It just makes it convenient.
I've received a lot of comments like this, so I want to talk about it. There are 3 parts to this response. The first is that people are aware that MAGA or MAGA mentality isn't exclusive to America. It's just that obviously it started there, it is about Trump, and it is predominantly an American thing. But people aren't in denial about the fact that it could, in theory, become a problem in other parts of the world. The second part of the response is to tell you that we had an election in Australia last year with a candidate who did run on a Trump-esque platform, both in terms of policy and the way he presented himself, lost big time and lost real bad. Real bad. So countries like Australia, and the same is true for Canada, and also like the UK, when you look at their last general election, countries are rejecting that brand of politics, and that could change. I know we're seeing some polling in Australia and some polling in the UK about the rise of right-wing parties, but fundamentally, when we've had our elections, the people in these countries actually have rejected it. Now, if you're still here, I want to give you the third part of the response, which is fundamentally our institutions are designed in this country to prevent or minimize the likelihood of MAGA or a Trump-like figure happening in this country, which just makes it far less likely. The idea that it is a equally likely problem that we're going to be dealing with here in Australia is untrue, and there's a number of reasons why. A good example is that because we don't have a presidential system, we don't have the same cult of personality issue that gives rise to figures like Trump, which happens, I think, more exclusively in a presidential system. There are also two other things you need to know about the Australian voting system. The first is that it's compulsory, and the second is that we use a preferential voting system, both of which functionally result in moderating our politics closer to the centre. Now, as someone who is personally really progressive, I'd sometimes love it if we had more progressive parties win government. But I know that it's likely in Australia that our centrist parties are the ones that are fundamentally able to win, because our institution and our voting democratic process is designed that way. The final thing I'll say that I think is a fundamental cultural difference between Australia and America is the focus on the individual versus the focus on community. I think the US is more individualistically focused. I think that this is particularly a white American issue, because I think marginalized groups are better at collectivizing more generally because they have had to historically. So this is a white American problem. But I think we saw this a lot during COVID, when Australians by and large understood that we had restrictions placed on our freedom of movement and stuff like that, because it was a health concern, and we actually didn't see a whole lot of protests about it because the idea of the community or the greater good or the society actually can win out. So yes, we know that MAGA isn't just an American problem, but let's be clear, it is an American problem fundamentally, and there are good reasons to believe that it won't exactly be replicated the same way in other countries, because our institutions are designed to protect us from that process happening.
This take is brilliant because it's structurally true. Presidential systems create cult of personality. You vote for one person who becomes the brand, the movement. But parliamentary systems, you vote for a party. The leader can be replaced midterm. No 4-year mandate for chaos. Compulsory voting pulls politics toward the center. Everyone participates, so you can't just fire up extremes and ignore moderates. And Australia's focus on community over individual? Massive. Americans are raised on rugged individualism. You don't need anyone. Pull yourself up. But that same mindset makes people resist collective action, even when it helps them. MAGA can try to spread globally, but structurally, most democracies are designed to prevent exactly that kind of movement from taking root. And honestly, good.
If Jesus was here right now, would you let him in?
Of course I would.
Why?
As long as he went through the proper, as long
As he came here legally. As long as Jesus Christ came to this country legally.
Is law and order really important to you?
Absolutely, especially when we live in not some great areas over in St. Louis, and they need to be cleaned up. So
it's important to obey the laws?
Absolutely.
And the shirt says, "I'm voting felon."
2024.
And what does that mean?
Well, he was convicted, but not that I believe it.
I am out here to support our president, Donald J. Trump.
Sure. And why is that?
Well, he's given us 5 million plus jobs since he's taken office, lowest unemployment for blacks, Latinos, and Asians. And he's also just given a nice shout out to the gay community for Gay Pride Month, saying he supports us 100% and he wants to decriminalize homosexuality around the globe. How could you not get behind that?
I love everything about Donald Trump. I feel he can be trusted and feel comfortable, and it's peace of mind.
What makes Donald Trump so special?
Oh my goodness, his honesty, his bravery.
Donald Trump, you think he's a very honest guy?
Oh, he's horrifically, wonderfully honest.
Horrifically honest.
Yeah, and wonderfully honest.
Horrifically honest. So you're admitting the honesty is horrifying? Because yeah, that tracks. But let's be real. What people call honesty is actually just being unfiltered. Saying the quiet part out loud isn't the same as telling the truth. People confuse authenticity with honesty. Someone can be authentically rude, brash, petty, but that doesn't make them truthful. It just makes them unapologetic. When someone says they love a politician for being honest, what they really mean is, I love that they don't pretend to care about people I don't care about. And that's a value statement, not a factual one.
All right, who is Rob Bresnahan and why can't voters trust them?
Rob Bresnahan is a Republican congressman from Pennsylvania. He's this rich guy who ran on this promise that he would ban members of Congress from buying and selling stocks.
And then what happened?
Well, and then this week he gets caught buying and selling stocks. Millions of dollars of stocks, in fact, including stocks that are owned by a company that's really closely affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party. He is profiting, he is making money off of the very thing he promised he would shut down.
Sounds pretty swampy.
You ran on banning congressional stock trading, made it your whole platform. I'm different. I'm not part of the swamp. And then immediately start trading stocks, including Chinese companies. The same China you probably railed against in campaign ads. This is the drain the swamp playbook. They don't want to drain it. They want to be it. They want the power, the access, the insider deals. Just for them, not for anyone else. And voters keep falling for it because the pitch sounds good. But talk is cheap. So Pennsylvania next time, ask for receipts, not promises, actual records, because stock portfolios don't lie.
In true Trump supporter fashion, comprehension is kicking y'all's ass. And I mean beating the brakes off of y'all. I'm going to try to link the video below, but if I can't, it's like 2 videos back where I talk about the guy who died at the Trump rally. Most of the comments are just laughing emojis or I'm with you or whatever, but there are several Trump supporters in there who are mad. And again, I don't give a fuck if you're mad. Why do you give a fuck what I think about you? But there are a few people that have said things like, well, so you think he deserved to die? When did I say that? Again, comprehension is kicking y'all's ass. I said that people are digging up his old tweets and are acting shocked that he was an asshole. And some of y'all are mad at me because I said that all Trump supporters are assholes. But, I mean, check tape. Y'all are. There are enough videos on this app alone as evidence to that. Y'all come on here and you completely disparage the LGBTQIA community. You completely gloss over black issues in this country. You're racist and homophobic, xenophobic, every fucking phobic that you can possibly be. But then you want us to believe that you're not an asshole? You want us to believe that you're the good guy when you are perfectly okay with stripping rights away from people? People who are just trying to live their life, just trying to exist? Y'all are not the fucking good guys. And you never have been and never will be. There was another comment asking, do you really think that all Trump supporters are assholes? You can't just group them all together, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I can. And you want to know why? It's because all of the things that that man has said and done over the years was not a deal breaker for you. And I'm not going to do your fucking homework for you because I know some of y'all are going to come into the comments and say shit like, well, you need to show me what he said. I don't need to because it's all out there for you to find. I've seen it and heard it, and so have you, and you fucking know it. And you all have done exactly what I knew you were going to do because you're so fucking predictable. You have proven my point spectacularly. The women who have come into my comment section to insult me, there's just one thing I want to say to you. You are not exempt. You all continue to vote against your own best interest, and you think that somehow you're just going to be exempt from everything. Especially white women, because you being white is not going to save you. These white men are not loyal to you. They do not give a shit about you. All they care about is whether or not you can pump out white babies for them. Glam Melanin said this the best that I've ever heard it. And she said that your power does not lie within your womanhood. It lies within your whiteness. Just a little food for thought. You are still a woman, and according to them, you are beneath them. And as for the men, again, y'all are so fucking predictable. All you do is just talk about my looks and call me fat or call me ugly or whatever the fuck it is that you've left in my comments. And I don't give two shits because, honey, I can see you. And to the people who just want to tell me that I'm sowing division and that I am the problem with this country, there's no reaching across the aisle to you guys anymore. Never again. I said it a long time ago. There's no olive branch to be extended here. You are who you are. You've shown us that, and now you can live with that.
This hit hard, and I get it. There's a point where you stop extending olive branches to people who keep setting them on fire, where you stop explaining basic empathy to people who refuse to listen. A lot of people are at that point. But here's the nuance. Anger is valid, frustration is valid, but completely giving up on discourse, that's how things get worse. You don't owe patience to cruelty, you don't owe kindness to willful ignorance, but writing off everyone means writing off the possibility of change. Some people won't change, true, but some will, and those are the ones worth reaching. So call out hypocrisy, hold people accountable, but don't let anger turn into apathy, because that's when they win. Stay loud, stay honest, because silence isn't neutrality, it's surrender.
I think y'all are all assholes. And y'all think I'm an asshole. So what?
Pennsylvania's showing us the same story we've seen before. People believing what they want, even when reality's screaming otherwise. Voter fraud by the people who claimed it existed. Bills hurting the voters who supported them. Conspiracy theories with no evidence. Hypocrisy on full display. Politics isn't a sports game. It's not about your team winning no matter what. It's about policy, consequences, real people getting hurt when bad decisions get made. So if you're watching this thinking, wait, did I make a mistake? Good. That means you're paying attention, because the first step to fixing a problem is admitting you have one. Drop a comment. Are you from Pennsylvania? How are you feeling? And if you made it this far, like, share, and subscribe. This is just the beginning. See you next time.